welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a really interesting question, I think. How does a massive ship, like P&O Cruises Britannia, one of the biggest in their fleet, actually manage to feel right for, well, almost everyone?
Exactly. That's what we're digging into. We've looked at P&O's own information to sort of pull out the essence of Britannia.
The goal being to help you understand quickly what makes her tick and maybe why she gets such consistently good feedback.
Right. How does she deliver that personal touch despite, her huge scale?
Okay, let's unpack that scale first. Britannia is, well, she's enormous, 330 meters long.
That's over 3 football pitches, end to end.
Yeah, and weighs a staggering 143,000 tons. She carries, 3,647 guests?
Plus a crew of 350 people, so big numbers all around.
These numbers immediately make you wonder, how did they possibly orchestrate that so it doesn't just feel like a massive crowd? She's been sailing since 2015, right?
Yes, and importantly, she had a major refurbishment in 2024, so P&O is clearly keeping her, fresh and up to date.
At the top of her game.
Exactly, and what's really fascinating is how P&O Cruises seems to use that size strategically. It's not just big for big's sake.
What do you mean?
Well, they position her as being great for families, for solo travelers, even for people who've never cruised before.
Ah, okay. A broad appeal.
A very broad appeal. And having home ports in both Southampton and Barbados helps that. It gives her access to very different types of itineraries right from the start.
Right, and that brings us to where she actually goes.
Yeah.
P&O talks about the Caribbean, the Norwegian fjords, the Med.
Super diverse locations, sun, snow, history.
Yeah, which again raises the question. How do you create a consistent feeling on board when the backdrop, and maybe even the mix of guests, changes so much?
Well, I think it boils down to the sheer variety they've built into the ship itself across those 13 guest decks. Let's talk food, for instance.
Okay.
27 bars and restaurants. 27.
That's a lot. Is that just about choice, or is there more to it?
It's definitely about choice, but it feels like P&O's strategy is also about preventing that feeling of, same old cruise food. You could genuinely eat somewhere different almost every night.
So you've got casual spots like the beach house.
Right, or the buffets, and then much more refined options like the Epicurean, the Glass House wine bar. Oh, and they mentioned special things like a Marco Pure White celebration night.
So catering to different moods, different groups, families one night, a fancy dinner the next.
Precisely, and that same philosophy seems to apply to entertainment.
Right, keeping thousands of people happy after dinner. How do they manage that?
Again, variety seems key. 8 entertainment venues. You've got the big headliners theater for production shows.
Like Unbelievable and Pulse, I saw those mentioned.
Yeah, but also places like the Crystal Room for dancing and the Limelight Club, which sounds more like an intimate supper club vibe.
Interesting. So not just passive watching.
No, and they even have things like a dedicated cookery club on board and gin tasting. It suggests they know people want experiences now, not just shows. Things to do.
That makes sense. Engaging people differently. Okay, so food, entertainment. What about just chilling out? Relaxation.
Oh, they definitely lean into that. The Oasis Spa and Salon sounds pretty luxurious. Hydrotherapy suite, heated loungers, saunas, steam rooms, tropical showers. The works.
Sounds lovely.
And then there are quieter zones too, like the Retreat, which is adults only, and the Serenity Pool and Bar, plus the 4 main pools.
So options again, you could be in the heart of the action or find a quiet corner.
That seems to be the idea. It's about providing genuine ways to unwind, not just ticking a spa box.
And we mentioned families earlier. P&O really highlights Britannia as family friendly. How does that fit in without, disrupting the adults-only quiet zones?
It seems quite well integrated. They have the Reef, which is the kids club covering ages right from 2 up to 17. Teens get their own space, H2O.
Dedicated spaces are good.
Yeah, but it's also about shared stuff. Family cooking classes in the cookery club, a daily kids' tea, a soft play area for the little ones.
And a night nursery, I read.
Oh.
For under 4s.
Yes, which is a huge plus for parents wanting an evening to themselves. It shows they're thinking practically about what families actually need on holiday.
So, wrapping this all together, what does this immense variety actually mean for you if you're considering a cruise?
I think it means Britannia is designed around this idea of, let's call it managed choice. There's a huge amount available, but it's structured so you can easily find what suits you.
So it avoids feeling overwhelming, hopefully.
That seems to be the aim. And judging by the guest feedback P&O shares, it seems to work. They talk about high satisfaction, people rebooking while still on board.
Which is always a good sign.
Absolutely. It suggests that despite the scale, they are managing to deliver that quality, memorable, and somehow personal experience.
It really does seem like Britannia pulls off being this diverse, engaging ship that works for so many different types of people, families, couples, solos.
Which leaves us with a really interesting final thought, doesn't it? Given this massive size, all these options aiming at such a broad audience, how exactly does P&O Cruises pull it off? How do they maintain that high satisfaction and create something that feels special and personal for potentially thousands of very different individuals all on the same ship all at the same time? It's quite the operational feat to think about.